Hi, everyone. Welcome to Lunch and Learn today. My name is Sim. Do we have any questions before I dive into any demos? Okay. So for today, I'm going to be going over some string manipulation steps. So usually when we get a bunch of data, sometimes we would need to strip it out, and there's a bunch of string steps that we can look for. I usually end up searching for them, but let me see. Some of them would be when we want to build a string, for example. First, we would look for a string builder. Okay, there we go. We would first start with creating a string builder. This is just a entity where we would be saving our string to. This is basically the base that we're going to build our string on. And then, since we know we're going to have to close it, there is a close string builder. We'll add it down here once we're done. Okay. So let's start with configuration. So first we'll create a string builder. We can rename it to anything we want. We'll call this string builder 1. Then we'll configure the close string step. It's not connected, so it's not seeing it, which is fair. I'll choose string builder 1. So in between these two steps is where you would want to build your string. We have a bunch of steps, such as the append text step. And here you would choose your string builder, such as string builder 1. And then for text to add, you can have whatever item you want. You can have it as a constant. You can have it as something that you choose from the flow. And essentially, you'll end up adding all of these append text for every section that we want. So let me make that a little neater. So I'm going to append another one. Let's choose another string builder. Once you append those text, you and close the string builder, we'll need to use a toText item, which will take the string that we just built in the string builder and make it into a text. You can have your little output here. Just save this and debug the simple flow. You just made a string to add hello there. This can be really useful using the string builder to create CSV files, since CSVs are basically like text files, but they just have a delimiter like a comma or the long pole, for example. In case we don't know already, if you want to know where a step can be found in this toolbox, you can go into the step information here, and you can see that it's under Data Text String Builder. And these are different ones you can use. But usually, besides just building the string, we would want to do stuff such as stripping the string. And there's different options such as regex steps, where you can put in the pattern, whatever the input is, and then different options where you can choose if you want to grab the first occurrence, all occurrences, etc. If you want to match something and replace it. We also have split steps, which you can use to split the string by separators, where you can choose different options. Like if you want to split it where it says date for every date, and then if it's in the format of like date, whatever the date is, and then date, whatever the date is, you can split it like that. And it will create two lists, where the first portion would be whatever is before the separator, and then the second portion is whatever is afterwards. It will remove the separator. We also have items such as split by character positions, where if you know the count of characters, if it's say 20 characters long and you know, oh, I want to split off the last 4 digits or something. But usually you can use all of these to start breaking apart and manipulating the string into creating a CSV. So I'm going to go over a simple example of just figuring out how long it takes for a certain log file to be created. So create that. First, this is going to be very simple. We can have a form. I'm going to skip the form for now, and we're just going to use it from a flow input. So what I'm going to take instead is a file data, so we can upload a log. This example will be using log files from my decisions directory. So I'll take this, have a log file, and from this log, we're going to want to get the string from bytes. The string. So we're taking the log file and get the string from it. Once we do that, we can use a regex method. Not that step. This regex step. So from the string, I want to match a specific header that I already have parsed out over here. I forgot to make the current month and date. But this will look into the logs for anything that has a header timestamp, starts on 22 in a certain month and day, and look for any steps that took a long time. These types of steps are actually warn steps that you can use if you're ever troubleshooting. I'm trying to look for any slow calls. There's actually a corresponding portion in the settings.xml that corresponds to that I don't remember off the top of my head right now, but it by default, you record things that take longer than, I want to say, 1 second to execute, something like that, or maybe it's 5 seconds. These can be useful if you're noticing slow calls to an API or slow calls to SQL. So we don't have the current month and day, so let me make those real quick. And then this will be the list of matches. So once we do that, just because I'm trying to make a simplified version, we can strip this further and get those strings and strip them for specific names and stuff like that. But for this example, I'm just going to instead immediately start creating my string. So let's see. Then we're going to close the string builder. And inside of this is where we're going to iterate. So for each item in our match, we'll just leave the name as item and item index. We're going to append it to that string builder. We're going to add a delimiter of my choice, which will just be a horizontal bar. Should rename these steps though. Append text, and we'll be appending individual item text. Append text, and this one will be for a bar. I'll add it back here. I should straighten out all those lines. Let's see. this up here. There we go. Save intermittently. So we appended everything. We're closing the string builder, and now we're just going to make that string builder into a text file. Text. Choose a string builder. And now we have a string, but we can build this into a CSV. So let's look for the step. Let's to CSV mapping. We're going to create, oh, forgot to rename that to text. Make this a CSV. We're going to choose the generated string. So because everything's already a list of string, I wouldn't have to build it as a string builder, as a single string. But I created it as a single string, so we'll just go with that for now. So it's expecting a list of string. I'm just going to choose build array, and then for the first item, we will just map just that. Then once we have that generated, we can just make a simple form where we can see the CSV. This is CSV editor. Actually, let me resize this really quickly. Quick edit that. Just okay. We'll just debug something really simple. as I look for a quick log. Nope, I almost forgot. I did not go back into the editor to check. Okay, looks like I did get the variables, so it's fine. Okay, I'm not sure if I have any slow logs in my decisions logs right now, but well, let's see. Okay, for today's date, it will be the 17th. And for the month, I believe the format's usually in 08. Let's see, what am I missing on this step? I'll put the header here. Okay. I'm missing something, but I cannot think of it right now. Let's look at the logs, which, well, it says object reference not null. So let's see.
Makes sense.
It's on a list, which is generated from this. CSV. Change this to a vertical bar. Let's choose the output for now. List of strings. And outputs an outcome bar. What is coming in as null?
Hey, hi Lee. This is Aishwarya.
Hi. Yes.
I appreciate you giving the knowledge transfer on this.
Yes.
So, yeah, so I have a different question actually from what you're giving a presentation on. So let
Oh,
me
that's
go on with
completely fine.
yeah. So I have a requirement where I have multiple tabs with me, and if I have to hide any of the tabs according to my requirement, is there any way that I can do that?
Multiple tabs on a form, multiple tabs on.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
have a form and I have some products with me. So based on the products that I select in the first page, I should be able to see rest of the subproducts tab in the other tab. So
Okay. Let's look at that. Okay. So we have a form. Create a new form.
and just to note, I'm using version 6 here for my application.
Okay.
I Yeah, I know it's deprecated, but just wanted to give you a heads up on that as well.
Yeah, I will have to use. I wouldn't have to use active form flows then. I would have to use the legacy flows. So let's see. So we have a tab component. Yeah, we'll just color this really quickly. Make this green, and then we'll just make this. Yellow. Okay. So we want to be able to hide the entire tab.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see what we can do. Legacy, or visibility rules, and actually let me add an event button first. This is a generic thing. Let's call it event button. Okay. So we need to make a visibility rule, and we'll call it hide tab B. And we'll trigger it on the event click. So since it is a legacy component, let's see. It's been a while since I looked at V6. So if might be a little bit hard to do this.
So where did we get this option for writing a rule?
Oh, this was for a visibility rule under the legacy options because there are data flows and visibility rules. But okay, so we are able to apply to individual tabs like this.
Oh.
And we can trigger it on so we can have it apply to tab B. A lot of this is probably different in 8. So let me actually save this and swap to one of my V6 environments.
Oh, okay. I think I got it. So we'll just have to add our root specifically, give the inputs, dynamic inputs or static wherever necessary, and then hide it or show it, right?
Yes.
Have a trigger also, and then write a rule according. Okay, I got it. And
Okay.
yeah, thanks for that. And my second question is that for these tabs, we have a horizontal display. You know, the one that you showed right now. So we have tab A and then tab B, tab C horizontally aligned. And then we also have a left alignment that I saw. Any way where we can make this vertically aligned? Is there any way we can do that? So somewhere to the left, tab 1 and then tab B and then tab C, one below the other, to left side of a form.
So instead of right here, we want it like this.
Yeah. But the problem here is that tab A is, you know, to the left.
Okay.
I mean, the readability is, you know, a little difficult. This is exactly what I want, but the text is a little, you know, it's not
Yeah,
a very
it's
user
not
friendly.
straight.
Yeah.
Hmm. We might be able to get this to swap
Hmm.
with CSS probably, where we take all the tabs aligned here, possibly make the tab bigger.
Mhm.
That I don't know off the top of my head. Let's see. Let me swap really quickly. Swap to this one right here. Let's see. go back into the hiding tabs. Hello. I wonder if I can get it to run in debug. Like this a little bit more. Let's see. So I really like using Magic CSS to mess with this, but we'll probably have to apply a class to one of these.
Mhm.
Like maybe UI tab anchor. Would be the entire, or actually not the entire tab. We would only want the text. Might have to be the tab text. Maybe we can apply a transform, rotate about 90 degrees on. So that does work. It does run into the issue of the tab itself being too small. So let's see. Add another one. Choose this entire section. UI widget header. Maybe we can say the width is maybe 30 pixels. Oh, that was not, no. Actually, let's see if we can actually, we shouldn't actually use these specific ones, but you would want to apply a rotate
Yeah,
onto the
got
form.
it. Serve the purpose.
Can I make that the width bigger in general in here? Panel, crop control, border width. Yeah, there's nothing here besides like the tab panel CSS, which we would apply.
If you can go back to the very top. So this is a tab container.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So we can apply CSS for it.
Okay,
We'll
and
probably want to apply it for this and then Hmm. Or can we make this? Yeah, no, that doesn't work. Because that is the problem, is this portion right here is cutting out the text.
Yeah.
Maybe we can put a margin on the left. Maybe we put like a margin of 40. So it does move it here, but that portion is still cut off. Can I make? Yeah, it's only the border width, which wouldn't do much. It'll be that border. Okay. If we can, let's see. Everything's here. And then sort of a width. Actually, yeah. Oh, actually, is it respecting the height instead? No, it's not. This portion we might have to follow up on a little bit later. This will take a little bit more digging, but that is the main issue instead of the rotating, is the fact that that will be cut off.
Yeah. I'll raise a support ticket for this, and then probably that will help.
And we can explore that further.
Yeah, sure. Thanks about that. And I have my last question of the day. I have few sections with me. So is there any way where I can collapse those sections while providing the data, and expand and collapse?
Oh, with
Any
like,
option to that?
let me cut this out actually. So you want to have like
A form,
a
probably
form,
both sections. Yeah.
and you want the tab, the items in the tab to be collapsed,
Yeah.
or the entire section to be collapsed.
This is not related to tabs, so consider a simple form,
Okay.
and consider that you have 2 or 3 sections. So probably section 1 is way too long for the page to handle. So you'll just collapse it, go to the second section, and then expand it, fill the details, collapse it, and then go to the third section, expand it. You know, that is what we are expecting.
Okay. That wouldn't be too hard, but it might, well, it's not too hard in like newer versions, but it might be hard in 6. It's been a while, again, since I've really looked at active form flows in that. But the main concept of how you would do it would basically be like on whatever trigger, you know, on a button click, or a if someone hits a checkbox for like expand or whatever, we would trigger the visibility on the entire grid.
Yeah, and
itself.
then we hide it. That's all.
Mhm.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's all I have. Bea. Thank you so much.
No problems. The only thing that I had pointed out with the tab containers is if you're trying to collapse something or within the tab, you can probably hide the entire tab, but if you wanted tab A to like shrink to a specific size, for example, like, oh, tab A only has a little bit of information, but tab B has longer information. The issue with everything being inside of a tab container is that there's no context for size to like in relation to other things, because the entire tab container is a specific size.
Yeah.
And even if the information is like smaller.
Yeah. That makes sense. That is fine as well.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions? If not, we can end it here for, since we're approaching the end of the hour anyways. Bye, everyone.